college admission secrets.
What's up, everyone? Coach Tony here. Welcome back to our weekly training session in our UC Admission Secrets Facebook group. I am your host and the facilitator for this call today, Coach Tony, your UC admissions expert. For all of our new friends, what's up? We help run college admissions secrets. We've been helping students for 14 years now with the college admissions process. And prior to that, I actually was a former admissions reader at UC Berkeley. So we did the math. It was like 16, 17,000 applications I read during my time there. I gave a bunch of student yeses. I gave a lot more students no's. During the process of that, you start to understand what factors matter, what factors don't matter as much. As a result, I've been teaching pretty much everything I know about the admissions process to as many families as we can. In this Facebook group, that's pretty much what we do. We give you guys everything you need to know. And today's training topic is a really fun one. Watch me walk through the UC personal insight questions, AKA the essay responses for the UC app. You're going to pretend I am a high school version of Tony, working on my apps right now as a senior with the knowledge of everything Coach Tony knows today. So I'm going to show you guys how it works, the thinking process as well too. Before I get started, I'm going to go through a few announcements first, and then we're going to dive into the topic. A few quick announcements and we'll jump right in. I'm going to go fast. Number one, we offer an event. We got lots of seniors here. We offer a really cool event called the College Application Intensive. It's a day we can start and get as much done. We have some students who do finish, but a lot of students get a lot done in the 2 days that we host them. We're down to 3 sessions left. Man, it's been quite a season. The first time we have traveled, first time we have added Common App, lots of opportunities to improve, but we're down to our final 3 this school year. So if you guys are in San Diego, see, this is a seniors only event, by the way. If you're interested, San Diego, we're hosting one weekend on the 9th and 10th. These are all UC apps, by the way. These are all UC applications only. We're done with Common App. No more Common App weekends for us. But these are all UCs and Cal States. UCs and Cal State applications. OC is September 23rd and 24th, and our final Bay Area one, September 30th and October 1st. These are our final 3 dates. We are sold out. We're filled to the brim with all the other weekends. Open this doc up. You'll see all of our other weekends that we have. Every weekend sold out. Every other weekend is completely booked and sold out. So we have just a San Diego, the Huntington Beach, and the San Jose one left for us this season. So if you guys have, I think we have less than a few spots left. So go ahead and tap that link right here and book your spot. It's $500 for the weekend, Saturday, Sunday, 9 to 4 each day. Number 2, last week, we did a really cool training. It's a really awesome training. I think people loved it. The top 13 mistakes I've seen high school families make this year so far. I jump on tons of calls with families every single day. As a result, you see a lot of things, and then it's like very common mistakes. So last week I did a special 1-hour edition of this. I went through it, but at the end of that training, we announced that we are increasing our prices because we're doing a lot of really cool things inside the program. If you guys have been inching, should I jump in? Should I not jump in right now too? It's a little bribe for you guys, right? Go ahead and jump in before our increase next week. So you guys have pretty much this week to jump in if you guys are interested. For those who are like, what does it include, right? The coaching program, we give you guys lifetime access, meaning if you start as a senior, you get 1 year. You start as a sophomore, you get 3 years. You start as a freshman, you get 4 years. You start as a 6th grader, you get 7 years in our program. They all pay the same price. So the earlier you start, just the more time you get in the program. If you want to wait as much as you want, right? But then feel free. You're paying the same amount as if you met us earlier. You get access to all the coaches. You get a one-on-one roadmap call every single month. We do a coaching call. You get weekly accountability, weekly office hours. We're up to 6 hours a week of office hours every single week. We get unlimited daily chat support, unlimited college app support. Apply to as many schools as you want. We'll help you with all the schools there. Access to all our live events. You get a scholarship support service. Our team shares a scholarship with your child on a daily basis to help them get as much money as possible. Our programs start at $3,000 lifetime. You start as a senior, freshman, 6th grader. It all starts at $3,000. And to entice you guys to jump over the low ledge, we have a few bonuses for this special offer. So again, you save it before we up the price. That's one. For those doing test prep, I used to work at Magoosh, love their stuff, including test prep with your purchase. Next one, You get an hour with Coach David to work on your personal projects. You get to co-author a book with me. It's a secret project. Cannot release more details, but I'm letting all the families co-author with me on a special project there. And you get an hour with Coach Art. He's our resident scholarship specialist. So if you guys are interested in seeing if you guys qualify, go ahead and tap this link right here. Book your call. It's a quick 15-minute chat. I'm not going to sell you on that call. Plus, I won't ask you for a credit card on that call. Plus, you can't even buy on that first call. That first call, see if we're a good fit. That's kind of why our program's so amazing, is we qualify every single family that wants to get in the program. So it's a 15-minute call. I'm going to ask where you guys are at, give you guys some recommendations. And if we feel we can help, we schedule a follow-up call with you guys. So go ahead and tap that. Again, you have a week. If you watch this live, you have a week before we up our prices for $1,000. So our minimum price will be $4K starting next week. For seniors, any parents here feel they make too much money to get money for college? Coach David specializes in helping families with financial aid. The last enrollment date is September 1st, so you can help those families out. Maybe you don't need the college admissions help, you're good, but you need the money help, go book a 15-minute consult with him here. Again, he also has a special promotion because he's officially closing down the doors for seniors next week. So go ahead and tap that. He'll let you know. He'll tell you, though, I can't help you because XYZ, or here we can. So go ahead and tap that there for Coach David. Third one, anyone here taking a math class, an AP math class? Pre-calc, Calc AB, Calc BC, and stats. With that, if you guys have been following me for a while, we're launching a math program. Independent of this, separate, but math program. Really cool model, unlimited sessions, small groups, daily homework support, and exam cram sessions. We have a start date. We're starting the week after Labor Day. If you're interested in the pricing, our goal is to democratize AP tutoring. So how much you pay per hour out of those big people, you charge that per month. So for right now, we're doing our founders discount. If you enroll before we start, it starts at $150 a month. If you guys wait, it'll go up to $350 a month, which is still amazing. We offer sessions Monday through Friday every single week. If you're interested, text me math or email me and say math, so we can help you guys get started there. We can coordinate time to chat. And last announcement for you guys, the seniors in this room. If you're not part of our program, we still want to help you guys out. We still want to help you guys out with everything. So we put together a really cool thing. We do this every year. We call it the UC App Challenge. We walk through line by line every single piece of the application, so you guys know, and we'll also give some tips, some recommendations, some strategies on each part of the app. So if you guys are interested, it launches this Friday. If you go there now, it'll just tease you, say, hey, you can't do it yet. Wait till Friday. On Friday, the page will reload, have a different thing. You can log in, access our new 5-day course on the UC application with the new, all the updated to this year's, and the fast ones. We have 10 options for a paid option at the very end of that free course. So first 10 families to go through there, you guys get a free perk. That's pretty much it. You guys have access to my notes, my docs. We'll go ahead and book all the links, by the way, down here. If you guys are interested, for those who still don't have it yet, we have a doc, a worksheet with all the campuses and majors for this year. You want that, text majors to this number. If you guys want, we have a UC application workbook. If you want that, text workbook to this number. If you want a Common App workbook, text Common App to this number. That's it for me. Let's get started. So like I mentioned today, our goal, literally, I'm going to do this live in front of everyone. By the way, if you guys are typing replay in the chat, I'm probably not going to get it. So if you can text replay, mistakes, replay, or if not, my team has no clue what that says. 475-4485. Go ahead and text that if you guys are interested in the replays for this 30 mistakes training video. All right, do that if you guys want to replay to last week's. So today, how would Coach Tony start and write the UC PIQs if he was a 12th grader today? If you have not started, this is perfect. By the way, this is perfect for you if you have not started. Those who have started, this may or may not affect how far your child is too, okay? So what I would do, right? So this is literally steps, right? First thing I would do, assumption first. Assumption, we already filled out the personal info, the academic info, and the activities info. So that's the assumption I have coming to right now. So I just finished all those sections. Now on the next one. So what I see now is the UCs give us 8 prompts to choose from. Step number 0, for me, do not look at the prompts yet. That's the big key. Those who have not started yet, tell your kids do not look at the questions. That's usually a pitfall for a lot of people. So what we do, we tell them, don't look at it yet. So instead, the real step 0 is identify the 4 topics that make you you. So what does this mean? This means I am looking for 4 things high school student Tony defined as the big thing. Here's the way to look at it. Anyone here watch Loki? The TV show Loki by Marvel. So the example is with Loki. There's these variants, parallel universes. So one event that you do could make you a different person, a different version of yourself in an alternate universe. Everything you do in life, right? So everything you do in life changes you a bit, but some things aren't as big as others. Example, what you ate this morning, probably not gonna affect your life. However, example for Coach Tony, going to Berkeley was a big thing. Why? Because if I didn't go to Berkeley and I chose to go to UCLA instead, right, where I got my full ride, I went to Berkeley. As a result of Berkeley, I ran into a admissions person from the Office of Undergraduate Admissions. As a result, I got involved in a recruitment and retention center. As a result of that, I did outreach work. As a result of that, I talked to high school students, high schools in general. As a result of that, I got really good. I became the executive director at the largest outreach program in Berkeley. As a result of that, Berkeley invited me to be a reader. And as a result, that led me down the path for college admission secrets. Meaning you guys are all here today because I went to Berkeley. If I chose UCLA, I do not think we would all literally be here. Again, you see how me going to Berkeley made a huge ripple that kind of affected everything in my life for today. But what I ate this morning, salad, a year down the line, it's probably not going to affect me as much. So what we want to do is we want to identify the students. You want to identify the 4 things that make you you. AKA, if you did have these, and they're usually 3 things, they're either an activity, either they're an experience, or an identity. It always comes down to these 3. I used to, by the way, if you've been following me for a long time, like a year or 2, I used to add people. However, as we do this more and more, we realize people is a stepping stone for you still. We tell you guys don't focus too much on other people or else it draws away from you. But I've realized in helping a lot of students with the people, right? Hey, my mom, my dad, my coach, my teacher affected me. It's still an activity, experience, or identity. It still falls under one of these things. So that's why we kind of took out people. And these are the 3 things that make you you. Let's do the example, the Coach Tony example now. I'm going to go back in time. If I was the senior version of myself, what would the 4 things be? Again, I did not prep for this call to make it as real as possible for you guys. So the 4 things for me, I'm going to think out loud so you guys know how I think. One of the biggest things for me was math. I loved math. I was really good at math. I passed Calc 3 as a junior in high school. I tutored math. I tutored a lot. I tutored at the high school. I tutored at the community college. I also tutored privately, made money. ASB is big. I remember ASB. I was very shy. I don't know if you guys believe me. I was very shy. I never did a lot of things, but I ended up being ASB president. Really cool. I had a lot of crazy ideas that no one agreed with, but it all worked out. And then to this day, they still use a lot of the ideas that I kind of created that year. So I think for me, like I like the innovation factor. Like I like ideas like innovation, making things better. It's kind of like always part of me. Explorers. This was huge. This is still one of my life things, I would say. For those who know Explorers, like it's a division in Boy Scouts, but not really Boy Scouts, where you're like a police in training, a deputy in training. So what you do is you have the uniform, just no gun, but you have to go through boot camp. So I went to a boot camp. In that boot camp, it was wild. It was so wild. It's a really cool story I have for a different day. But pretty much it taught me never to give up because then they push you to mental and physical limits. I got pepper sprayed. I got those dogs who bit you, right? Dog bite. Amazing. One of my favorite, thinking back, absolute favorite. In the moment, probably like one of the worst. Martial arts. I did martial arts. I'm currently a 5th degree black belt, but back then I was a 3rd degree black belt, helping others. I did do enrollment. What I teach you guys, I did myself. There's like nothing I teach you guys is like, oh, let's try this works. It's proved through me. It's proved through all our students over the past 14 years. I actually graduated with 80 units. I graduated with 80 units of community college credit. Back in my day, we didn't have online classes like today. So I actually went, right? I took weekends and evening classes. Did that. I think that's it. Those are the big ones. Again, step number 1, you think about things that make you you. I'm not thinking what looks good for college. Don't think what looks, sounds good for readers. Don't do that. These are just the things that like define me as me. But I have 2, 4, 6. I need to come out with 4. So then I'm going to ask myself from X number, go to 4. I want to get to 4 now. So if I have 6, which one is most important to me? And then for me, let's say the explorers. Explorers, big. Number 2, ASB. Literally, I was the shyest kid in the school. Ended up doing all the speeches to the school, which is super cool. Tutoring. The tutoring, that was cool. And dual enrollment was pretty cool. I was literally in college classes. Like this is before online asynchronous. So I did that. That's pretty much the thing there. So explorers, ASB, tutoring, enrollment. Is martial arts important? Yes, but not as much as these 4 for me. And then in terms of math, yes, but I can include this in that. So again, can I combine things? Yeah, that's how I'm gonna combine things in there. I probably can't combine this and this because they're 2 separate topics. Could I? I'm sure I could, but I don't want to. So these are my 4. These are my 4 topics. Step 1, have the student identify the 4 things that make them them. Here's how we get there. Someone's asked me when I started which thing of which thing. It's important when you're adding into the activities, but when it comes for the PIQs, it does not matter how long I did stuff at all. Because again, at the end, what's the most important to me? You don't have to be involved since 9th grade. It doesn't have to play a big role. You can like it, but it doesn't make a huge role. It depends on kind of what you did. But for these 4, though, I've been involved in them for a long time. That's probably why they were top for me. If it was length, martial arts was the longest. By the way, I started when I was 2. So for martial arts with me was 16 years of martial arts. So if it's length, I definitely did do length because that will be the most impressive one of all. I started when I was 2. So now I have these topics here. Next thing I'm going to do is look at the questions. So you see PIQ questions. Look up all the questions and you'll see these are all the questions that I have. So now I ask myself, step 1 officially, match the topics to the questions. So now I'm like, cool, with the explorers, what can I talk about? So does it talk about leadership with explorers? I'm like, not really. Next one, creative side, not really. Greatest talent skill, maybe. Never giving up, maybe. So 3 is an option. Next one, educational opportunity, education barrier, not really. I guess if you define it for like learning about myself, maybe. So let's say 4. Again, there's no right or wrong way to interpret questions. Next one, significant. Oh, this is a big one. Yes. Significant challenge for sure. Definitely I was yelled at by drill sergeants. Second subjects, probably not. Make a community place, probably not. Number 8, you guys know I say stay away from number 8. Don't do number 8. So that's that. Next one, ASB. Speed up a little bit, right? Tutoring and dual enrollment. You do the same with all the steps. I want to focus on tutoring because I have a really good example I gave this past weekend that I think would be good. So for tutoring, leadership, probably not. Creative, maybe, but nah. Greatest talent or skill, I agree. That was one of my big ones. Education barrier, not really. Civic challenge, not really. Subject, yes. 2, subject was good. Community barrier place, I guess so. Help people out with stuff. But at the end, once you have this, then you start picking. So you're like, oh, cool. I'm going to use topic 3 for tutoring, which means I can't use this anymore for explorers, which means, and you kind of filter through them. It does not matter what questions you use. So don't worry. You just want to find questions that you can use to answer. So I'm going to say tutoring number 3. Tutoring number 3, what's your greatest talent or skill? How have you demonstrated that over time? One thing that we taught our students over the weekends is that every single prompt has 2 parts. Every single prompt has 2 parts. Part A and a part B. The part A is always the what, part B is always the why and the how. Every prompt, by the way, in the UCs right here, they're all broken up very simply like that. So the what part of it, this one is what is my greatest talent or skill. The why, how part is the second part. Boom. An easy way to write it, paragraph 1, paragraph 2. Look at that. Easy peasy. So for me, that's that. Next step, I matched it to the topic, or I should just kind of, bunch topics here. Step 2 is we're going to have we have students brainstorm, outline. So the next stage is I'm going to talk about it. So in tutoring. So right now, we tell students, don't think too hard. Everything on your brain, down on paper. And so for me, I'm writing like I was a math tutor at the high school. I was a math tutor at a community college, which is super cool. Did that for a little bit. I was a private tutor. Talk about this, talked about how I helped others. I saw my math teacher help others. I was a community college. I was the only high school student doing that. It was my first job, like job with a boss. Because I never had really had a job with a boss before. Private tutor, I did it myself. I made like $20 an hour. It was great, cash, beautiful. I was my own boss. So yeah, so that's pretty much like my brainstorming and stuff. So I'm gonna go ahead and answer this question. What's my greatest talent or skill? So maybe it's like like tutoring, maybe it's math. So again, at this stage, I don't know yet, and it's okay not to know. A lot of students I think we worked with over the weekends, they are trying to be so like, I need to know what this thing. I'm like, no, you don't need to know. We're still in draft mode, still in like try figure things out. And then the how answer, and you could talk, oh, cool. If I do tutoring, yeah, I started here. So that's my evolution right there. In my head, I have it kind of in place. Then before I write draft one, we have this new step that we start introducing. Focus on the what. Actually, I'm a credit coach, Coach Art. One thing he's been saying in all these calls, dig deep, Coach Art. If he's here watching, shout out to Coach Art. Step 3 is dig deep. So here's something that, again, we'll probably end up here. I might do a part 2 if you guys are interested. Let me know if you guys want a part 2 of this. One thing that the biggest thing of all, again, what most students do, they're going to say, I was a tutor. I love math. I was a tutor at my high school. I helped others. I saw my teacher that motivated me to be a math teacher. Then I was a tutor at the community college. I was the only student who was a tutor at the community college. It was awesome, helping kids like 4 years above me. That was awesome. That was my first official job that someone hired me for. That's cool. I also was a private tutor. I got paid money. That was awesome. My own boss. I had students at the high school level, college level, everything. And people do that. Most students write a story for their PIQs. Is that wrong? No, not wrong. However, not the strongest. Because again, if I told you this, if this was my exact prompt, the question you want to ask with the readers, as me, when I read this, is what did I learn about this student? So you seeing this, what does this tell you about high school Tony, right? You're like, oh, he just good at math, tutored. That's it. That's all you get. You know how surface level that was? That's all you got, that surface level up top. So here's the thing. You have to, in the words of Coach Art, you got to dig deep. So here's the analogy that I had a lot of students do. Imagine a 5-year-old version of yourself sitting next to you and asking why. Let me play it out for you guys. So for me, Coach Tony, I was a tutor at a high school. I was a tutor at the college. I was a private tutor. It was awesome. I loved it. Why did you tutor? I tutored because I was really good at math. I want to help other people. Why did you want to help other people? I want to help other people because, again, my parents always taught me to help others. And so here's when I get stuck, I always ask this, right? You play devil's advocate. Why do more work? The one thing that a lot of our students did over the weekend is that I did this. Now ask them why. That's a lot of work. You want to start a nonprofit? That's a lot of work to start a nonprofit. Hey, you went and played at this tournament? Dude, why? Why not settle for third place? Why not settle for second place? You spend extra 1,000 hours studying for that thing. Why? Why do the extra steps? So for me, they're like, going back to myself because I got stuck. Why tutoring still? So for me, I just needed money. That's why I tutored. I'm like, cool. Why? Why do you need money? Oh, my parents are low income. They're immigrants. My parents are immigrants. My dad is the only provider of the house. I lived in a family of 8. I was the oldest of 4 siblings. My dad was the only worker. He brought home $27,000. Dad, only $27,000 per year. Family of 8. So what? Why is that important? I felt guilty asking him for money because I know he needed the money to pay for bills. He needed the money to pay for the mortgage. He needed money to pay for food for the family. So if me say, hey, I need money to buy this thing, even though it was needed, and I know my dad would. That's the thing. I know he would figure it out. He'd work the extra hours to make sure I got that pencil, that pen, that backpack, that thing. I felt so guilty doing that. So as a result, what I do? I tried to find ways to make money. So what happened? I applied everywhere. No one took me. Who would want to hire Coach Tony today? No one took me though. High school Tony, no one hired me. So I was like, cool. If no one's going to hire me, what do I need to do? Let me figure out how to make money. I need to, right? The guilt is big now. So I was like, I'm good at math. I started tutoring one person. That led to more. Cool. Now let's go back to the prompt. This prompt is about tutoring. But am I going to talk about tutoring? No. The first part of the prompt, the 20 to 25 to 30% of the prompt is going to be about the what. It's going to be about tutoring. Here's what I did. But the really strong prompts, the 70 to 75% of the prompts tells me the why and the how. I didn't tutor just to tutor. I tutored because of my family situation. That's why. So if I told you the story 1, I did this in high school, versus the story 2, this is why I tutored. Does story 1 tell you more about Coach Tony, high school Tony, or does story 2 tell you more about me? Which one tells the reader more about the student? Story 1, just tutoring. Story 2, tutoring. Here's the why. You're going to find out that most of your topics aren't really what you're going to end up writing about. If you dig deep, it's never that. It's never the top layer. We're like onions, right? It's like onions. We're not the top layer. You got to go a few levels down. That is what readers are looking for. You multiply by 4. I do the same thing with these other topics. Explorers, I'll talk about how it's a boot camp. I want to give up. They pepper sprayed me. They made me do stuff. So countless push-ups. It's not about that though. Why did I keep going? I didn't want to quit. Why didn't you want to quit? Because my whole life, I also quit a lot of stuff. Growing up, things got hard. I stopped it. This was my one opportunity to show myself that I could push through it. I was the smallest kid in the whole group, but I pushed through. At the end, they told the significance of the event. The significance of the whole event, they made you want to quit, but they never forced you to quit. They made you want to quit, but they never forced you to quit. You chose to quit. You chose to keep going. Goosebumps right now. It's a cool story. So for me, that takes me through every life event I've had so far. When things get rough, I know, do I quit? Do I ring that bell? Or do I keep going? Again, if I told you about the boot camp, that's cool. But I told you why I committed, why I stayed to the very end. It's not just the boot camp, it's who I am. Do that for ASB, do that for a dual enrollment. And that's how you have 4 really strong PIQs. Boom. All right. Does the mission officer cares about why? That's the only thing they care about. Have you noticed that what I taught you guys is not the norm? That's why not the norm gets accepted. It's getting smaller and smaller and smaller every year. You gotta stand out and do really well. The why is what the readers look for. A lot of students don't do why. They stay surface level the entire time. Those kids tend to not get in. By the way, try out my theory. I always tell a lot of stuff, April, right? A lot of families don't, I'm like, hey, we'll help you with this whole process. Families feel the ego. No, I'm good. I'll do this process by myself. I'm like, okay, good luck. Come April, they're like, Coach Tony, we didn't get in. Why? My kid has a 4.8, 4.9, 5.0. They're involved in 20,000 clubs, but they got rejected. I'm like, show me your application. And I look for that. Now you guys are pros now. When you read applications of students who get a yes, when you read students of applications who get a no, you will see right away why I told you exactly what I told you guys. That's the magic. That's the secret. It's not the what. And here's another little lesson. Here's the one thing. A lot of students say, hey, my idea is not good enough. My idea is not original. Again, I have read 17,000 applications as a reader. For the past 14 years, I read thousands more. You will never have an original idea anymore. I have seen everything. I've worked with Olympians in the past. I've worked with world-class athletes. I work with people who did crazy things, written books, done things that like we could never even think about. I've seen everything. Therefore, your topic, the what, is always a copycat someone else. Like, what if we see someone's app and they copy ours? I'm like, no, your idea is going to be the same. You're copying someone else already. But the why is always going to be different because the why is your experience. That's what makes any prompt stand out. It never matters what you pick. It's always down to the why you got to where you're at and why the thing made you who you are today. Quick questions real fast. I'm going to crank through. Does a high school student have this kind of depth? Is it nature? A lot of students naturally don't do this. So again, we go through with our students and we help them. For our seniors who are interested, for younger students, we help you guys out with this. So go ahead and book a breakthrough session, guys. That's like 30 minutes, 45 minutes. You guys get years with Coach Tony and our team. For our new friends, these calls are free every single week. We host them every Tuesday, 6 p.m. So mark your calendars, get ready. The replays are available the next day. A few questions. What's a better extracurricular? Does not matter. Both are good. If you're interested in both, do both. Can we do something significant in middle school? I don't recommend it because middle school you is different than current you. I would not recommend that. Why not PIQ number 8? It's too hard to get right. It's too open-ended. whatever you end up going to write about is never good. It's like, I try hard, I work hard. I'm like, dude, use another prompt, because if you say I work hard, dude, every other kid works hard. You can do it. Again, I'm not gonna say don't do it, but for me, I don't recommend number 8. What percent of students work with us? Again, top users. We've gone to every single UC every single year. We have for non-seniors. We do have a really cool college admissions guarantee that we can talk about if you guys are interested. That's all I can tease you guys up today. We went a little over. I apologize for everyone who's late now to their next whatever thing. Go ahead again, book your 15 minutes. Not everyone qualifies. I think this month we had like a 20% acceptance rate in our program so far. So it's getting smaller and smaller every time. More calls, but less people get in. So go ahead and book your session, see it and help you guys out. Again, I'm not going to sell you on that call. I'm just going to see if we can help first. And then second call, we're going to talk about the programs there too. Awesome. Thank you for the gifts, everyone. The little emojis coming up. Thank you. It was a pleasure chatting with you guys here tonight. I'll see you guys next Tuesday. Oh, actually, this Friday, UC App Challenge goes live. So stay on the lookout for that. Book your breakthrough session is 2. And number 3, come back next Tuesday for a really amazing training call next week. Again, have a great week. Chat soon. Bye.